This has to be one of the craziest stories on the internet I've seen this year, as Sydney Sweeney is now putting out bathwater soap, which echoes what we saw with Belle Delphine a few years ago. If you don't remember when that happened on the internet, and this OnlyFans lady of the night was selling jars of bathwater to the simps out there, this is just something that, like, how do we stop this? Because we clearly at this juncture, and I've seen this on everything, have a simping epidemic in America that's gotten really, really bad. And this type of thing, leads to the, weird women who are sleeping with 1,000 people in 24 hours and things like that. It's really bad for our society. It really is. And I know we're going to have a lot of Sydney Sweeney fans out here who are going to, be upset with me over this, but I have to cover these type of topics because it's so important right now, especially to young men who need to not just give into this kind of behavior, because it's just something that is giving way too much power to women exploiting sexual degeneracy on their end, and then just getting rich off of just complete awful things. And it's destroying their souls. It's destroying the young men's souls who are a part of this. And let's get into what this is in just a moment. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things in the culture. I'm not just talking about culture. I'm doing my part as a science fiction and fantasy author, my friends. I write a lot of books, and I'm working on them really, really hard. They're clean. They're good. You're going to enjoy them. And you can sign up for my newsletter. And this is what I really want you guys to do. And I've been pushing this more and more because you never know if the algorithm's going to find you guys again. Subs don't mean anything on YouTube anymore, and this is the only way to make sure we stay in touch. So get on here. You get 3 free books for signing up. You get a sci-fi novel, a fantasy novel, and a graphic novel, a comic book by me. And you get to start right there, and we can stay in touch so that you can check things out in the future as well. I've got a web store, of course, in the description below. If you do want to support the channel, really appreciate it. Let's get back into this because this is the culture that goes full mainstream. Of course, it's a lot harder doing sci-fi and fantasy books than doing this kind of thing. But we need to take back the culture from this kind of thing right here. And this is exactly why we're fighting against this kind of thing. Now, Sydney Sweeney, of course, has been one of the most popular people, I'd say, in our conservative right circles over the years, just for a couple of reasons. And we know what those 2 reasons are. And she's gone out there and really gotten a lot of attention over and over and over again just for being pretty. And that makes it really, really easy for a woman on the internet to do. Now, she's a Hollywood actress. She stars in things. She actually does things. But if you look at what this is building off of that OnlyFans sort of thing, building off of Belle Delphine, building off of Amouranth, and all the other degeneracy that we've seen on the internet over the last several years. And it was roundly mocked when it happened. Belle Delphine put this out, but what happened was, because it was so mocked and so talked about, that she propelled herself into even more fame by doing this kind of thing. And so for these women out there that want to exploit this kind of thing, that want to make this kind of stuff even grosser, the more they do this kind of thing, they're incentivized, because as people talk about it, more people actually buy it. All publicity is good publicity, as it says. And so there is no shame in doing any of this sort of stuff. Even if people are talking about it negatively, like myself, they don't seem to have any sort of like repercussions for it at all. In fact, they only get more famous, and they only sell more of this stuff. They only gain more OnlyFans subscriptions. And that's why I say that we have a simping epidemic in America right now. I guess it's a really tragic thing. I saw Joshua Lysek posting that there's a lot of millennial marriages ending at this point, because just like the women are just perpetually on Instagram trying to getting flooded with this live the best me life and leftist messaging, which this is all leftist messaging. Even this bathwater selling is leftist messaging, really. And the men are being like, okay, we're going to hold firm on this, and because of the disconnect on the internet there, it's causing a lot of problems. On top of this, you talk to people who are in Gen Z, the young generation. The boys and girls don't even interact because it's so far of a disparity at this point. It's led to just a bunch of men just being like, nope. And so what that ends up happening at this point is they get, and this is the sad part, addicted to pornography, get on the internet, and just completely tune out and tune into pornography 100% and start the simping pattern, because the simping pattern has no real world consequences, has no sort of like hard relationship sort of things, because it's too difficult to deal with these women who have come up and been destroyed in their souls already as teenagers. And it's like, and then it just builds into this sort of a level. So we have a systemic situation. And that's what this is right here, a systemic situation, which is causing more and more of this to come out. And like I said, we've seen a couple of big OnlyFans stunts over the last couple of years of these women sleeping with 100 men, 1,000 men at a time. It's like, what is going on? And why would these men participate in this? It's degrading not just to the women, but also to the men themselves, who are just, gross. I can't even conceive of that. But this is what happens when the pornography addiction gets to this level. This type of thing follows. So her new soap is doing this, and this is a bunch of celebrities doing this. Of course, Erykah Badu's got a degenerate fetish products. Gwyneth Paltrow's got one. Belle Delphine we've of course covered already, and this was revealed in an interview with GQ for a men's magazine, where she says this is it, that the company took droplets from a bath she took while doing a photo shoot and infused it into the new soap. She says, when we were at Dr. Squash's shoot, they had a tub for me. I got in there. I took some soap. We had a little nice bath. They took the water. It's my real bath water. I wanted to have it lean towards my home roots. So there's a really outdoorsy scent of like pine and earthy moss and fur. Look at it. It smells super manly. Then there's some city bath water mixed in. What? I mean, gross, number one. Number two, like, how can you talk about this with a straight face and actually like give detail about it, like it's got some meaning to it? The fact that we can do this in 2025 and not have everybody laugh you out of like society at this juncture is really, really concerning, because as much as this is a popular celebrity at this point, this is utterly ridiculous and disgusting. Like, where is this going on? So she revealed that she's selling the bathwater, somehow wrestling back power for her and her image. And again, this comes back to modern feminism. It's called wrestling back power. It's about the power, right? And this is about the power of controlling men, controlling simps, and of course then dictating discourse, and it builds up further because of that. This is modern feminism at its peak. It's crazy. Of course, it's funny. There's a lot of different plays that are in motion at a time. My hope is that it gets guys to think about taking care of themselves and cleaning themselves with some healthy products. What? She did go to claim she uses the soap herself, despite it being clearly targeted at men. She says, I make sure that every brand that I become a part of, I organically and authentically use. My gosh. Talking about this like it's a product and not just something gross and not just something that's a fetish sort of deal is crazy by itself. But this is where we're at. Again, there should be shame in doing this. Why is there not shame in this at all? Why how, are we really that low as a society at this point? My gosh, this is really tragic. It's a super important part to make sure I'm saying, hey guys, I really love this product, or hey, I really use that. I actually am a consumer just like everybody else. Yes, consume. If it doesn't actually work for the person and they're just saying it, it doesn't benefit any of us. This doesn't benefit anybody at all. I mean, she makes a bunch of money off of it, but it's really crazy. She said she was not inspired by other celebrities selling their degenerate fetish products. She says, no, I'd like to say yes, since that's the coolest thing ever. So this is exactly who this is. This is, Sydney Sweeney is like the ultimate virtue signal on the right wing that I see on social media as a simp sort of situation. Everybody's like, oh, Sydney Sweeney should play this. Sydney Sweeney should play that. And she's just another one of these Hollywood people in this doing this crap. I mean, it really is just an awful, awful thing. And men need to just get some sort of modicum of self-respect and say, you know what? Just because there's a pretty face and a pair of, you know what? I'm not going to act like this because I'm way better than this. I'm not just an animal. I'm something that is better, and I have value, and my value is more than a bar of soap, showing that I can please my lady here by doing that. My gosh, this is so crazy. I can't believe this is a thing, and worse, I can't believe there are people who are actually going to buy this just because of it. Really, really sad. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Got my books that I'm writing right here in the description below. I could sell my bath water, but unfortunately, that would not go quite as far. And it just goes to show just how bad society is at this point. We need to get people reading again. That's the most important thing we need to do here. The illiterate aspects of society definitely lead to this as well. And so 3 free books for you guys. Please connect with me because I got a lot of books coming out this year and I don't want to lose you. Thank you for being there. I try to respond to people when I actually write my newsletters. I make sure I write back as much as possible. I like to connect with you guys, and I appreciate you being there. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back.